Hi. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. It's so beautiful. I don't know if anybody else has ever tried to attempt this sober. It's really a schoolboy error. On the way over in the cab tonight, we had an arrangement that I would do most of the speaking, so it's less 1950s than it looks. Jennifer can actually speak for herself if I let her. Don't flirt with anybody while I'm doing this, all right? There used to be a homeless couple that lived outside our building, our neighbors, so to speak. And when they first moved to the block, I tried to talk to them. In retrospect, probably not hard enough, but I did try, but they were difficult and kind of taciturn, and our conversation rarely topped good mornings as we passed them on the way to take our kids to school. And eventually I gave up trying, and their poverty became more and more normal to me and more acceptable, and I'm ashamed to say, eventually they became part of the landscape of the city in which I live. And then Hurricane Sandy happened, and in the mayhem of trying to get 3 kids and a cat and perhaps the dumbest dog in New York City into my car and head for higher ground, I didn't ever once spare a thought for where this couple, my neighbors, were going to shelter from the storm, and I never saw them again. And I couldn't stop thinking about them. And so I did eventually the only thing I really know how to do, which is try and make something. So I tried to make a movie, which I'd never done before. And that's where I met Mary and David and Patrick and all the rest of the angels that work for the Coalition for the Homeless. They were incredibly giving of their time, gave me advice, vetted my script, took me out on their extraordinary food program, arranged access for Jennifer and I to shelters to observe and really talk to homeless people. And you can imagine, as a writer, director, producer of a film and the leading actress of a film, it became quite a family affair and an obsession. And my children got involved in their school, raising awareness about the then 20,000 children sleeping in the municipal shelter system in New York City. In the 2 years that it's taken me to make this film, that number has swollen to 24,000 children sleeping in shelters in New York City. New York City, right? I mean, it's the financial capital of the world, and it's not just shocking, it's sort of confusing. I mean, why? It's almost an oxymoron, right? So, and I was reading your website, and I was thinking, in recent years, 39% of New York's affordable housing has gone, and homelessness has soared to 56,000. But you would be a fool and a communist to make any link between those two totally disparate and coincidental facts. I promise everybody I'm not going to sing the Internationale or anything like that, but that's later down at the docks with all my comrades. Anyway, I made a film. It's not enough, but it's all I knew how to do. And I didn't even make a film about homelessness, really, per se. It's about a homeless couple, yeah, but I didn't want to make a polemic about homelessness being bad, because I kind of thought we all knew that, and any decent human being would realize that. So I tried to make a film about judgment and how we all seem to be in a world of more and more grey, receding into these black and white positions. You know, she's a junkie, he's a drunk, she's a hooker, they're just going to spend it on drugs. You know, I mean, if you haven't said it, you've thought it. I mean, I have at least. And I found myself wondering where that sentiment, there but for the grace of God go I, has gone. I'm not a religious man, but I was raised a Catholic. But I always loved that sentiment, there but for the grace of God go I, because there's an admission of how close we all are, how that could be us or our children, you know, and it's not just about children, obviously. We are all innocents, we are all worthy of forgiveness, and we're all worthy of a home. I believe that we can eradicate homelessness in New York City. It sounds like a huge thing to say, but it's not a fantasy, it's a dream, you know, and there's a big difference. And thank you everybody tonight for coming here and being part of making that dream come true.
I don't really have much to add to that other than my thanks really to the Coalition for this, for the time that you spent with us, helping us in our research, but more than anything for the work you do helping thousands of citizens every day. What a committed, inspiring group of people, really extraordinary, and an extraordinary organization. So it's a real honor to be here tonight to support and celebrate you. Here's to you.